And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Of course, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giant sports talk and entertainment. Oh, what a day! What a day! It was a beautiful day yesterday. It was a gorgeous day on Friday. Oh man, it was one of those things that you were out and about doing your thing, and it was just you then you wake up this morning and it's raining. And I did not put the barbecue grill away last night, and it's a ceramic grill. So, of course, the ceramic grill is sitting out there in the pouring rain until like 1 o'clock in the morning. And the next thing I know, I got to run outside and try to cover it up before it gets wet. Because if anyone knows, if you have a ceramic grill, it's not the best thing in the world to get soaked like that. So just another one of those days. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm going to take some water here. I figure we will take what's going on, Alex. Let's see here. What's going on, Alex? How we doing this morning or this afternoon? AP, what's going on? We already asking a question. There's no this is going to be a wham bam. Thank you, man. There's no wait a minute. Oh, the wrong music. I was doing our other show today, which is NFL Talk from across the pond and back. The podcast will be up. You can see on the bottom right now. We have two podcasts. It's NFL Talk from across the pond and back, and All Nonsense Sports. If you can find many places that you get podcasts like YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that crap. And but if you can't find them there, you can just go on www.onlineBigBlue.com, and all the podcasts are there. Yes, sir. Like I said, we're just jumping right into it here. Should we even do the introduction? I don't even think I know where the button for the introduction is. Let's see if it works. It does. All right, everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giant sports talk and entertainment. Hope everyone's doing well out there. AP already has the first question of the day, and that first question is going to be, how do I rank the wide receivers? Well, you know what? I have a chart. I have a chart I was working on. Let me see if I can't find it. Let me see my chart here. Oh, my God. Let's see. Wide receivers. I am starting to chart through the draft, and I'm starting to do different players on a daily basis. And wide receivers, I've done before, but I really haven't gotten into it. But if I'm picking the wide receivers right now, in my order, I still have it as I'm going to go. Let's see here. I'm still going with Smith, Chase, and Waddle. I have Bateman moving up the boards, more in there. I also have, let's see here. I have Nico Collins, probably after Bateman. I have Seth Williams from Auburn, probably coming in around 6. And let me see here. And I think, and I have Moore from Purdue moving up to 7th. And then I also have Terrence Marshall also falling into place as well. So we are, that is my wide receiver list at the moment. That is going to be subject and can potentially be changed. And Mr. Killian, how are we doing, sir? You are going to be on, Mr. Farrell. I think I'm saying that correctly the last way. He is going to be on. Of course, he's from Ireland, and he's going to be on a little bit in the show. We're going to bring him on for about the last 15 minutes of the show and get another perspective from over the seas. Hope you're doing good this morning. Thank you for the super chat. And everyone knows, we're going to bring it through again. All super chats from this channel are donated at the end of the month to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. We gave $110 last month. I forgot to put a caveat on that, though. YouTube takes a percentage of the super chats. Last month, I covered that percentage, but we are going to give the total amount of money after the percentage that YouTube takes. So we're going to start that next month. And like I said, we're trying to give at least my last show is going to be in February after the season. So we're going to try to donate at least $1,000 between now and February. So we gave $110 last month. I don't know what the count is yet at this month, but I do appreciate that everyone that donated last month. I think that was fantastic, and I greatly appreciate it. Oh, we got Dominic. Dominic, to assist the stereotypes, it's barbecue in the sun when it comes out for more than 2 minutes twice a year. You know what, Dom? I like I said, Dom is my co-host, and I just, I wanted to make him feel at home. So,
do I make you horny?
So these are some of the sound effects I didn't get to play on the show today.
Allow myself to introduce myself. Yeah, baby.
Because we all know that, all stereotypical, we all know we've all learned our culture of the UK via Austin Powers. So, Dom, we had a great show today. We actually talked about the the upcoming draft. We talked about the wide receiver class. We also had an opportunity to chat about a few other things, so which was a lot of fun. So let's get some questions here, guys. What? No questions today? You just want to hear me babble? Alex Sports, where's your question, man? Give me a question. Come on. I want some questions, some good questions. I already answered AP's questions about the draft. I'm not going to give that question again. Entertainer. Oh, and there is Chris. How are we doing, Chris? Glad to see you jump on in the morning. It's not the morning now. I guess it's 12 o'clock. I wasn't sure if there was any games going on today. I don't know if the Mets are playing today or the Mets playing today because of the rain. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the rain. Hopefully the rain will stop soon. I thought I got away from this morning when we recorded the pod. I really regret telling you the Indian. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the horn thing because evidently that's a UK thing. Should we try? You know what? Should we trade for Deshaun Watson? Why? I thought Daniel Jones was the man. I think Daniel Jones is going to, you know what? And I'm not saying I'm not a Daniel Jones fan. I'm not saying I'm not a Daniel Jones hater from in regards to the situation, but I am a Daniel Jones guy that thinks he needs to show his progressions, but I'm not trading for Deshaun Watson at any point in time, only because of the fact that I think it would be ridiculous to trade the amount of assets. If you think the team has pushed all the chips in the middle of the table for 2021, Dave Gettleman has said, we've said it before, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. We're going to forget about the salary cap for 2022, and we're just going to move forward and see what happens. But I think there is going to not be a misconception, but I hope that I hope that we are going to be able to push forward and move through this and like I said, progress into 2021. And let's not worry about 2022. I've done enough worrying about that, I think, for everybody. Plenty of wide receiver topics for the drafts. Parsons, if available, make the defense elite. I like taking Parsons at 11, but I also understand the theory about taking the wide receiver. Now, I've mentioned this on multiple occasions. You take the wide receiver, taking multiple skill set players and placing them on the field is going to hide some of the deficiencies of your offensive line because you are not going to be able to then put 7, 8 in the box. So, they're not going to be able to generate the same amount of rush they would on Daniel Jones. And you have Saquon Barkley coming out of the backfield and hopefully a healthy Evan Ingram, or an Evan Ingram that stays healthy and can actually catch the ball. I can understand going with a wide receiver and maybe going with offensive round talent in the second round. I think there will be enough talent. I'm like I said, I'm not a big fan of the offensive line talent right now. I know I got bashed for the Slater thing. I just see a lot of Eric Flowers in Slater. When you have an offensive lineman that continuously ducks his head at the point of contact, like Eric did, that's troubling. And like I said, and I've said it before in the video, and I've even done it before. You go in as an offensive lineman. Never played offensive line. I played defense, but if you go in as an offensive lineman and your point of contact, the first thing you do is duck your head. What I'm going to do as a defensive lineman, I'm going underneath with a swim move. And that's all I'm doing. I'm going to go right around you because you're not going to be, all you're going to be seeing is the bottom half. You're not going to see the bottom half of my motion of my body, which way I'm moving. So, I mean, I think that is a dangerous way to play. The Mets are at 1, but I'm going to relax. You're going to relax and watch the game. What are you, slacking? Come on, Chris. I didn't have a chance to watch you do a Mets broadcast yet, but I'm going to try to. I haven't got a chance to watch any of the Met games. I wish I did. I am a big Met fan. Yes, I'm rocking the. You know what? You could see it today because I got the lights going on today, and I also have the service that went salute to the serviceman's hat, which I think is I think. Yes, I could tell it was a joke. I was just I like that topic though. All right, what do we got here? Hip Rod 1. What are the chances of drafting Parsons, especially with Dave Gettleman locked into Devontae Adams? As I hope I read lately, I hope Judge has a lot more input. You know, it's funny. I was able to predict some of the draft last year because of the fact that we got some information. But this year, I'm getting nothing. I mean, and it's the same thing with free agency. We were able to, a couple days before they actually signed the contract, say, the Giants are going to sign these guys. But I'm hearing nothing from anywhere. I mean, I've called people that I know that still work in and around East Rutherford, and I don't know, man. It's a quandary wrapped in a riddle right now with the Giants. They can go so many different directions, but it's really going to really matter what goes on in the top top 5. How are these quarterbacks going to shake out? I still can't see Mac Jones jumping up into the top 10. I really can't. I don't know if that's smokescreen. I'm not sure of the serendipitous fall right now of Justin Fields. I don't get that. And I'm not a guy that bashes Ohio State quarterbacks just because they're from Ohio State. But I think he has more talent in some regards, and I think he has more mobility than Zach Wilson. Anyone could be 100% wrong with that because quarterbacks is a crapshoot. I mean, there's nothing you can, there's just no way you can tell. If you think about going back to the old school, go back to the 83 quarterback where you had Ken O'Brien, Todd Blackledge, and Tony Eason, who are going to be revolutionary. Now, Eason did go to a Super Bowl, but Blackledge sucked and Ken O'Brien had a so-so career. But I would like to see them take a linebacker. We haven't taken a linebacker in years. We haven't taken it back since Clint in the second round years ago. But I don't know. I don't know with Gettleman, man. I really don't. If we take Parsons at 11 and draft a wide receiver 42, I'd be very happy. I would be very happy too, because like I said, I went through my wide receiver list already this morning, and I'm thinking the talent level is going to be interesting in reference to how it shakes out. And I know I know this he's got Scary Terry on the mind from Florida State. I could see Terry falling down to the Giants even in the second, even past the second round into the third round. But there is a lot of talent on the wide receiver end that we could potentially, find a steal later. But if I had a choice, and if you held a gun to my head and said, Waddle and Parsons are both sitting there at 11. I would have a tough decision to figure out which one to take because I can see the intrinsic value for both. Waddle, to me, like I said, could add a level to the the offense that, we could potentially have, like, going back to the old days, back to a run and shoot offense with like Mouse Davis, or we could even go back to Air Coryell, which is the lineage of Jason Garrett's offense is the Air Coryell system. So I don't know. It would be interesting. I would probably go the linebacker because we haven't taken a linebacker in I don't know how long. Tyrone, as Slater is a guard in the NFL, he is not Nelson, so he's not a top pick 11. He also had an off season. I don't know. I don't see the infatuation and love affair with Slater. I really don't. You watch the tape, you watch the film, and everyone talks about the Chase Young game. And I have a problem defining an entire player's draft status off 4 quarters of a football game 2 years ago. So, I mean, and I see him, I have projected him to be a guard, not a tackle. I think and I'm not a big person that buys into the T-Rex, the stubby arms, going like this. I'm not a person that, that buys into that. I do understand, especially from the outside, if you're working with a speed rusher, you are going to be extending your arms more. I understand that. I understand 100%. And in the guard position, you're playing more in the trenches. I get that. But like I said, I just, if an NFL team thinks he's a tackle, he's going to be a tackle. If they think he's a guard, he's going to be a guard. He's already come out and said that he was willing to switch to the guard position. And of course, I would say that too. If someone's going to draft me in the top 10, and I'm not going to lose millions, I would say whatever you want me to say. I would tell people that I'm a turtle if that's going to help me get drafted higher. Let's see here. Yes, Svi, Scary Terry. You know what, Svi? I want you to leave in the comment section why you like him so much. What's your I'm looking for I don't think I scouted him yet. I don't know. I did not scout him yet on my list. The last person I stopped at was going to be Frank Darby over Arizona State. 6 feet, 194 pounds. But I'd like to know, Svi, what's your love affair with Scary Terry? I like Terrence Marshall too. I do. And like I said, I think I just went through him just the other day. I still haven't projected at anywhere between the 3rd and 4th round. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a big size. He's a big target. He's fast. He's fast enough. I mean, he runs a 4.4, 4.46. So, I think he would be, if you're going to look for later in the round, I could see that too. Brown that I like in the 3rd round. Again, I have not scouted him yet. There's so many players to scout. It's funny. You don't even know. Yo, what's up, Scott? Yo back. Oh, Mr. Svi. How you doing? Svi, I got to text you later. I have to text you later. I'll text you later about something. I think we have value at the guard position in round 2. I don't know. I don't want to go offense. I can understand if they went offensive line. I really can. I get it. And yes, they address multiple issues via free agency. I understand that. And I understand that the offensive line could potentially be the weakest link of the team. I get it. But I think you have to have some, and people are going to be like, you're talking about faith and hope. You have to have some faith and hope in the coaching staff and Dave Gettleman for selecting the players that he did last year, because of the fact that I even said last year, a lot of the guys that they were bringing in would not be referred to as immediate talent. They would be talent that needs to be cultivated. And that's true with Lemieux, with Matt, with every, these are guys that, with the linebackers, these are guys that may take 2 years to kind of gel into a positional type player. And I think that if you feel that you drafted well, you should have enough offensive line help. Of course, we have Nate Solder. Yeah, we brought Nate back. What's going on, my friend? How'd you do? Saeed, how'd you do on your test? How do we do on that? Let's see here. Terry is built like, Terry is built like Metcalf. You know what Metcalf is? He is. I liked Metcalf coming out of school. When he came out, I knew the Giants were going to draft him, but I liked him. He had this look in the field, but then some people are like, well, he's too bulky. He won't have the flexibility. And I guess that didn't work out too well. I guess for some guys, he was a good pick. Terry fell for no reason. He used to be a first-round pro. There's a lot of guys in this draft that if you go back and look at the prognostication of where they were going to be before the start of the season, a lot of guys fell. I just did a video about the defensive tackle that, that was supposed to be from, supposed to be Florida State, that was supposed to be, and, he should have gone last year and become a number 1 draft choice, but the coach talked him back into coming to school. And he may not go to the 3rd or 4th round. Let's see here. He's tall. Terry could be a good red zone. I think 100% he could be a good red zone threat. And I think that's, if you're going to work on the maturation of Daniel Jones, you need to give him something or some way to get someone in the end zone, and he worked that way. And I think that is going to be, I think I don't know, man. I just have this thing about, and I'm not going to talk about Daniel Jones because everyone knows my affinity for Daniel Jones, but I just think, what is now Bad Dog's here? What is this? There must be nothing going on today. If Bad Dog and Chris both jump in here, there's nothing going on. There must be nothing else to watch. Isn't maybe the Muppet movie on or something? Or I guess you can't watch the Muppet movie anymore because it's bad. I'm not sure, but I'll be able to go through the Giants second round if we take a defensive tackle in the first round. I still be Dominic. If we take a defensive tackle, I think we're all going to cry. I'm not sure about that. What's going on, Joseph? How are you doing today, my friend? Hope everything is well. I haven't seen a message. Do you like the linebacker from LSU? Forgot his name. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I forgot his name too. It's been a long day. It's been a long night, man. It was nice though, because you got that nice weather and then you turn around and you're like, oh my God, let me see here. I have my linebacker list. I have the linebacker list right here, and I'm going to go through my entire linebacker list, and I don't remember his name either. I just stopped at Monty Rice yesterday when I was doing some of the work. I like Patty Fisher. I know a lot of people don't know Patty Fisher over at Northwestern. 6'3", 240 pounds, inside linebacker, 3-year starter, good player. Probably going to go later in the draft, go and play 6th or 7th round, but he's a flyer pick. I understand that. Let's see here. Who do you want the Giants to draft at 11? Well, Mr. Bad Dog, and I will call you Mr. Bad Dog. I'm not telling. I've already made this statement. I am not making a prediction. I am not saying anything until probably 3-4 days beforehand. I can understand if they go with the lineman, and I can understand if they go with a wide receiver. I could even understand if they went with a linebacker. But I like to wait a little bit longer till we see exactly what's going on. But I will, and I've said it before, I have an affinity towards the wide receiver or any or any of the big three if one of them falls down. How many linemen did we bring in? Guarantee we are not drafting. You know what the problem was this guy with Gettleman? You don't know what he is. You don't know what he's doing. He is. You think he's going to go one way and you go. There's no guarantee with it. I still don't know if he's not going to take a defensive tackle the first round. Someone even said it on one of the videos. I don't know if he's going to take a punter. It's what he has in his mindset. And I've said this a million times. Good teams do not reach via position. They look at the best talent available on the board and they go with that direction and they try to fit that into their system. The Raiders did it for years. The Raiders would draft via position and they would be, let's say they're at 15 and they would take the 32nd best player. And then they would be shocked. Oh my God, this guy sucked. And people are like, well, you took him 20 spots too high. So you never know with Gettleman. But like I said, I do think I think if they take a look at this and they do it properly, the Giants can be interesting in 2021. And I think this draft is going to be a draft like we have not seen from the Giants in the last couple of years, because I don't think anyone, someone pointed out to me that on CBS, their mock drafts, in the last week or 2 weeks, they've had the Giants selecting 3 different players. So I'm not even sure which way they're going to go that. Last night, I was on Max with the Hub live stream. I'm down to Panama City. Good life. How is Panama City? I'm moving south soon. I'm not saying where. Some people know, but I'm moving south soon. Enjoy, Svi. Have a good time, my friend. People need to take a better look at Russo's tape. He's not really a speed rusher, but he is great closing speed. Yes, you know what, Russo? Everyone said Russo had a bad pro day and Phillips had a better pro day. And I've said this a million times. The game is not played in shorts. Jerry Rice fell on the draft because of the fact that he did not have speed. How many people caught Jerry Rice from behind? The problem is, if you look at the tape, most people will say with Gregory Rousseau, all of his sacks and all of his pressures came from the middle of the line, that he is not an outside rush. And that is 100% accurate, 100%. But the problem is Leonard Williams is the same way. So hopefully I like Rousseau and I always have, but like I said, with the quarterbacks now going early, Gregory Rousseau to me is off the table. But I think that he is going to be a type of player that can be moved to multiple positions on the line. And at that point in time, he will find his worth. I don't think that he is going to be a monster right off the bat. I don't see that, but you never know. You know, when the freak, came out in the college, came out from college, he was drafted in round 15 and he won rookie of the year and had 15 and a half sacks. And Dirk special legs for who do you got? I've always got the Knicks, Scott. You know that. You know that. Knick fan through and through. I'm all about trading down multiple times. Greeny, you know what? I don't see Gettleman doing it. I really don't. I mean, it would make sense. If people are so in love with Mac Jones, and I don't get the love affair with him. We did a whole podcast about it today. But if I don't get the love affair. But if he's there at 11 and the team wants to trade up to get him, I would trade down. If I can get something in return. But like I said, if there is the greatest spot with being what the Giants are at 11 right now, with all the quarterbacks going front, I believe a top 5 talent will fall to the Giants at 11, and you will have him on the 11th pick salary and have a top 5 talent. That's the only reason why I would not trade down. Joseph, what's going on, my friend? I no questions for me today. Like I said, I try to go through all these questions as quickly as possible. I'm doing the oh, wait a minute. You know what? Okay, wait a minute. Stop asking so many questions, people. I'm getting a headache. Mets suck. There you go. Mets suck. Yankees suck. No Laker game, no Knick game yet. I don't blame them. You know what? I think Bad Dog said it best. It's way too early. Hey, look, I'm not saying anything wrong with the Muppet movie. All I'm saying is they're putting these disclaimers on everything. So now you can't even watch the Muppet movie. Let's see here. Nick, I went to see Bateman. Everyone's in love with Bateman. Bateman has evidently, he's evidently measured smaller than initially thought, which I find interesting. I said it before. When I played in college, I was 6'3", 235 pounds officially listed. And I was maybe 6'1 and a half, 200 pounds. So I always say you take everything with a grain of salt when you're talking about college, especially about their size, because they just all of a sudden get so much bigger and then they shrink. If Daniel Strong struggles and we don't have a high pick, would you trade for Jordan Love if he has some game time? I don't think the Packers are going to get rid of Love. Everyone talked about Love and him moving on, but I don't see him going away. And I would like to point this out. I am a owner of these Green Bay Packers. I bought one of the ownership certificates back about 5 years ago. So I think I'm 100th of an 18th owner in the Packers. So I think I will have to call them up and let them know what my philosophy is. What do we have here? I am 12 and I'm trying to start up a Giants YouTube channel. Oops. I would say I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to New York sports. Well, people say that I sometimes have, well, good luck to you. People sometimes say I have the knowledge and the temperament of a 12-year-old. So I think you would do awesome. I think you would do fine. Let's see here. I'd appreciate it if you want to leave your tips or check out my content. I definitely will. Is Minty Sports your channel? If anyone wants to go check out Minty Sports, check them out. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Oh, this is a good one. The Giants will draft Slater over Rousseau. Rousseau will wreck Slater and make Danny Penny fumble 6 times. Giants fan will complain that we passed him. I just don't want Rousseau going to Washington. I don't need to see that. I don't think anyone needs to see that. Jabari Cox, the LSU kid. Yes. It was funny because I was going back to that. Okay, here we go. Let's see. There's a hot take from AP. Tim, this might be a hot take, but I think the best scenario for us is where quarterback and DeGem both fall to 11. And that way we'll have assets to trade down since we're giving. You know what this? I was talking about this before. The quarterback situation to me is very interesting because I don't understand. All right, Trey Lance is a talent, and he is a potential talent in reference to he has the ability, but he's raw. I don't understand the Mac Jones. I don't understand. I don't understand the falling the fields. I understand Trey Lance. Zach Wilson, I don't get. And Zach Wilson, when he was at his pro day, he went to his right and threw across his body and threw a dime into the end zone in the left-hand corner. And it was a touchdown. And Louis Riddick, who works for NFL Sports, pointed out right away that Sam Darnold did the same thing in the game. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I think some teams are going to be reaching and grabbing for guys because of the fact that they feel that the 2020 class is weaker than the 2021 class. But the problem was, if you looked at these guys at the beginning of the season, was the 2021 class really that strong? Or are they just making it out that way? Everyone likes Cox. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's the 12-year-old in me. Let's see here. The Mets play. Oh, they do play one. Is it good? I guess the game's still on. It's not raining. It was raining here. Yes, I would take him if he fell to the 3rd round. Let's see what's Greeny got here. There's a ton of late round wide receiver talent. Adams. Yeah. Like there's wide receiver talent in this draft. I think this is one of the deeper drafts for wide receiver talent. But like I said, I have a feeling one of the big 3 is going to be sitting there at 11. And I can't see the Giants. I just can't see it. I just can't see them passing them. Parsons. You know what, Steve? I know your affinity towards him. I get a lot of text messages from you on that. I like him too. I don't know if the rumors are true. I don't know if anyone knows if the rumors are true. There's speculation. I don't know. The Giants will do their due diligence. Hopefully it'll be, hopefully we'll get more information. It doesn't turn into a DeAndre Baker situation if they go that direction. I don't know. I don't want it to be like Eli Apple as well. Eli Apple to me was there was scouting reports that Eli Apple was extremely immature, that he couldn't even toast bread. And then his whole thing with his mom. So hopefully they just, I don't know. I have faith that the Giants will do what they need to do. Thank you, Ray. It is a nice hat. I have so many hats, and I got them all over. I got them scattered all over the floor. I really should pick them up. I'm just lazy today. Let's see here. Wolf, what's going on, man? Wolf, what's up? What's your favorite guard prospect in the draft? I don't have one. And I'm not trying to be a cop-out on that, but I don't really have one. Let me go to my chart here because, like I said, I'm predicting a lot of players that were coming in via a tackle position, moving them to guard. So, I mean, it's I don't think I have my guard chart here. What I do like when I'm going to do a video on them. I don't know, because a lot of people aren't going to know him. It's going to be Spencer Brown in Northern Iowa. And, I just did a video on Leatherwood. I have Leatherwood moved from Alabama, moving to the guard position. Oh, there we go. I'm getting text messages here. So I have that as well. Let me see here. What did I miss? I missed something. People are texting me that missed something. Hey, Proman. Hello, are you, sir? Hi. Thank you again for the super chat. And those that do not know, we've said it before, all super chats are donated at the end of the month to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital here. And again, like I said, last month we donated $110, and I forgot to say that we are going to donate after YouTube takes their cut. I covered the cut from YouTube last month, so I just want to announce that. Like I said, we are trying to donate at least $1,000 by February of next year, and that's because that's when I am signing off and saying sayonara. I like Parsons at 11. I do. I think he would be awesome. I think he would be awesome, but I just wonder how far he's going to fall, and I don't know if he's going to fall to 11. But like I said, if someone surprises up and takes that quarterback and takes Mac Jones, I don't know why you would, but if someone does, it would be interesting. It's raining in Florida too. Yeah, well, I hate rain. I hate rain. Here we go. Here, what's everyone's love affair with Cox? If he's so good, why is? You know what? Because you never know. The draft is a crapshoot. You never know. How many guys that went in the 7th round became Pro Bowlers and became all pros? You don't know. And I've said that before. We can prognosticate. We could say who we might take and who we will take, but you never know with the talent level. Scouts miss things just as much as just. I like people that text me in the stream while I'm doing the stream. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying today. I told you I'm running slow. You know what? People forget the draft used to be like 25, 30 rounds. And then they cut it down to 12, and now they've cut it down to what, 7? Wyatt Davis, Manny, everyone again is in love with Wyatt Davis. And I don't think I don't think it would be a bad pick if he fell into the 2nd round. I think he won't get past the later part of the 1st. But if he fell to the Giants in the 2nd round, I would not be happy. I would not be unhappy. I would not be sad. For Tim's views on quarterbacks, there's some idiot from the UK. Check out. I think, yes, shameless plug. And you're not an idiot. Well, sometimes you are. But I love everybody. It's a good show. From across, NFL Talk from across the pond and back. We've actually picked up a lot of listeners or subscribers or whatever they're called on the podcast. So we've only done 3 or 4 episodes now, but we talk everything. And we also try to combine it in with European football and see the differences. It's a fun listen. Like I said, you can see on the bottom. You can also go to onlineBigBlue.com and you can check out all the podcasts that we have going on right now. Tim, are there any free agents left that are worth signing? There are. You know what? Did KJ Wright sign? I don't know if KJ Wright signed. I still am a big KJ Wright fan. I don't know if he signed, but if he was available, I would like the Giants to bring him in as well. Okay. I would also like to thank Chris and Bad Dog for jumping in. I don't know if Bad Dog's still here, but I appreciate that. Let's see here. It's always fun to see everybody. Okay, let's see here. It's always raining in Florida. Let's see here. I got to go back up. Where's the one I just saw? Oh, here we go. I gotta go jump back up here real quick. The Giant straps later, we're gonna hear another laptop. All right, listen. Let me tell you about the laptop. I'm still going with this. Ninjas. Maybe with Yakuza. I don't know. But I don't know how that beer fell all over the laptop. And it was bad, man. I mean, I'll take the whole bottle. It just went right over. There's a lid on here, guys, so don't worry. I'm not that stupid. Well, I am a little bit. But the whole beer just went over the laptop. And I took the thing apart. I cleared out the circuits. I don't know what happened. I think someone did it and they were drinking. I think that's what happened. Little Nipple, what's going on? Parson reminds me too much of Reuben Foster. I can't tell if he's Reuben Foster or not. I don't think anyone can. It's just way too early. I mean, I wish there was a way that we could, peel back the layers and say, okay, what really went on at Penn State? But I don't know. I just don't know. Sunny here. We're talking about Florida. It's always good in Florida. The good thing about Florida is it rains for like 20 minutes and then it stops. Let's see. Whoops. Clowney. Is Clowney still available? I would take Clowney on a $5 million prove it deal. I think that he's done. I think he's going to need that microfiber surgery sometime in his career if he hasn't had it already. I think he's done. I think he was washed up. But I think for a guy for $5 million, I would take a flyer. I don't know if he would take that. I think he's going to want more. All right, what do we got here? Slater is the only pick I would not be happy with. Not a fan. I'm not a fan either. I just laugh because people get nasty sometimes in the comment section. And I love it because I usually don't delete comments, and then I get people that go on Twitter and yell at me that I delete their comments. No, if you use profanity, YouTube automatically deletes your comment. It automatically removes it. And I've told you, if you're going to curse at me, do it like, SH blank, 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 T or F blank, 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 UCK. Or I had one person was great. They cursed at me. They just combined all the words together. I think that was awesome. I think that was smart. But it's I don't delete your comments. Some I have to delete because some are just vulgar. But like I said, majority of the times that I don't delete them. A lot of times I forget. If the Giants were to trade back, what team might we trade back with? Well, Alex, I think you and I have talked about this on the chat a couple of times, and I think the general consensus is a team like New England. If one of the quarterbacks falls down, they would want to move up from their spot at 15 to 11. But it really depends on who's in love with these quarterbacks. I mean, that's really what it is. All right, let's see here. We have the number one defense in the league per myself. I said last year that we had a top 10 defense if Adoree Jackson comes back from the injury, if we could find a Robin to Blake Martinez's Batman. We still need to figure out a way to generate an outside rush because we cannot rely on the secondary this year to hold their receivers accountable for more than, again, a couple. If you're out there and you're hoping your guys in the secondary are going to hold the receivers for 5 to 6 seconds, I don't know. I just don't see it. But if everything comes together and if Adoree Jackson comes back off the knee, I would see it. I wouldn't mind Justin Houston, but I do not see how we would have money. Who knows how we have the money? No, it's easy. The money is easy now. Like I said, all you need to do is and Chris knows it just as well. Low salary, prorate the bonus, push the bonus out into 2022. There you go. Problem is, one day, like I've said it before, like if you take out what is it called? No interest payments on a credit card. And it's like for 12 months. One day in 12 months, unless you take out another low interest credit card, that money is going to be due, and that's what's going to happen in 2022. And I think it's funny that there's a lot of people, a lot of sports writers and people saying, "Hey, it's interesting that yeah, that's what the Giants are gonna have a problem with. Because I think right now we have 37 players under contract, and I think 3 of the players is like right now tied into 30% of the cap. And that's a dangerous game to win. I mean, to play. So what you need to do is, like I said, we're pushing the chips in the middle of the table. New England is, I think New England. Like I said, I think New England is the way to go. Hey, my paisan, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? I thought it'd be late. No, you're 6 hours. 6 hours? I always forget. Welcome. KJ Wright is still available. Good. I would go with KJ Wright if we had the money. If and again, to Chris's point, I'll just move the money down the road. It's all fine. It's all good. I tell you, it's the Popeye syndrome. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. The only problem is we're going to owe a lot of hamburgers. Let's see here. Do you know why Fields keeps falling in the mock draft? He is the number 2 quarterback. People keep saying he's a first in, last out. Brett Favre, when he was in college, was a college guy, and people forget about it. He was a college guy. He was a drinker. He was a partier. So I don't know with Fields. I like Fields' talent. I think, and again, like I said, I did not like Dwayne Haskins, and I gave many reasons why I did not like Dwayne Haskins. But I think from everything that is the anti-Dwayne Haskins is Justin Fields. I personally still have him number 2, but I understand the Jets are looking for a quarterback to fit their system. But I don't, I take Fields. You know what? I'm not taking Fields over DJ. I'm not. And I'm not a fan. I mean, everyone knows that. I'm not taking that. I'm giving DJ his 1 year, his one last year. I have a Daniel Jones jersey, and I will put it on. And God forbid, I'll probably burn off my body from the things I've said about him. That should be a video. I wonder how I could do that. I wonder if I could have a jersey burn off my body. That would be interesting. I keep seeing about Creed. I keep seeing about him. I could see it. He could be useful. And then I could make Apollo Creed jokes. So I think that would be fun. What's Greeny here? What do we got here, Greeny? I remember Fields gutting out a tough victory with a broken wheel while Lawrence was on the sideline crying. Well, yeah. There's just something about Fields to me that it just screams NFL quarterback. And I could be 100% wrong. I could be talking out my wazoo, but I just see it. I just see it. I don't know. I just see it. I don't see the Giants drafting him because, like I said, at this point in time, you're going into year 3 with Daniel Jones. You got to worry about what's going to happen in year 4 and the 5th year option. You got to give Jones his try. 5 hours. It appears the Giants cap is truly, yes. I'm not sure how they feel. Like I said, the salary cap to me has always been a living, breathing thing. Even when I was in cap meetings back in the early 2000s, it was always trying to figure out the issue. People forget that after Tampa Bay won their Super Bowl, they went into cap hell for 2 years. They went 7-9, 5-11. They almost cost old John his job but they pushed all their chips in the middle of the table and they won a Super Bowl. They had to get rid of Warren Sapp. They had drafted Chris Sims. I mean, if you win, it's the greatest thing in the world. If you lose, we're going to be in trouble. You are going to be in trouble. I don't have a thought on him. I don't have a thought, to be honest. Or maybe that's a bad thing. I'm like I said, I am running through, and I'm trying to run through these players. I'm trying to do a video a day on guys, and so I have him on my list. But I don't know. I don't have a true thought on him yet. I have a Duke jersey. We'll probably never wear it. You should never wear it. If you have a Daniel Jones Duke jersey, you need to take that and burn that now, because evidently that is what is causing Daniel Jones to have issues, that you have that Duke jersey. Still, we will still have $60 million in cap space. Well, if you look at the cap numbers now, after you're going to have to get rid of Soldier, you're going to have to get rid of a few other people. We have a surprise guest jumping in here. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Well, I can't hear you. What I'm going to do is I think you're known to some of the people around here. I'm going to pop you in. I want you to introduce yourself because you know what? I always enjoy reading your comments and everything. So we're going to drop you in here for a few minutes.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear? Can you hear?
I can, yeah.
And how are we doing over in Ireland?
Grant, everything's going well.
Let me try to move up your volume here on the soundboard. Why don't you introduce yourself? I know who you are, but why don't you introduce yourself to everyone and just say hey. To those that don't know you.
Yeah, I'm a big Giants fan from Ireland. I've been watching them for maybe a couple of years now. I'm half American myself. My mom's American. She's from New Jersey. That's how I got into following the Giants. I've always been a big New York sports fan. I started liking them since owned an Eli Manning jersey when I was about seven, and then maybe about a year ago, after we drafted a few years ago, when we drafted Saquon, that's when I started to really start to follow it, and it was just like seeing the highlights on a Monday morning, before school, of the Giants game on the weekend, whether we won or lost. More often than not, it was when we lost. I'd always watch the highlights of Saquon running crazy and Odell being an absolute monster that he was. And from that, I think it was the 2018 season. It was a bit late, but I started watching it. When I started watching it, I just became a huge fan since then. And since then, I kind of live and breathe Giants football.
Well, you know what? Living and breathing Giants football. So, let's say you were watching them since you were 7. So, what was it? How many years ago was that?
10. 17 now. So, yeah.
I was going to say, you don't look a day over 17 or 18. I was going to, when it's an old timer like me, I'm in my 50s, I don't even remember being 17. So, I had a question for you because, like I said, we do a lot of shows and we do a lot of things overseas now. And, the presence of the New York Giants in Ireland. I know a lot of times what it is like in the UK because I do a podcast over in the UK. Mm-hmm. But what is the pulse of the NFL football over there? Is it? I know it's not going to be as big as other sports but is it something that's trending? I know in the UK it's going that way, but like in Ireland, are people having a pint saying, the Giants are looking good today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have. It's getting a lot bigger than it was a few years ago now. Like I remember, no one used to really know anything about it, but now it seems that everyone seems to know something to do with the NFL. Giants football. A lot of people here. I know. Me and my friends are all massive, fans of the NFL. Me and my friends, there's my friends support teams like the Jets, the Packers, the Vikings, the Broncos. I'm the only Giants fan here amongst, my mates, my lads. But a lot of people have kind of bought into the whole brand that is the NFL, and it is getting a lot bigger now. And it is great to see everyone over here starting to get into it.
What's the banner behind you?
Oh, I'll move the other way.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was okay. I was wondering. I saw that. I was like, I think I know what that says. So I'm sorry. So it's Killian, right? I'm saying that
Killian,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure because I know I don't like mispronouncing people's names.
I'm terrible with that as well, so I don't blame you.
I always do that. So you don't have to say exactly where you are, but which portion of Ireland are you in? Are you in Northern Ireland?
No, I'm from the Republic of Ireland. Yeah, we're just outside Dublin, maybe about half an hour in from.
Oh, okay. I love that. There used to be when I went to Ireland. I used to go to Ireland a lot. There was something like 2,460 pubs in the city, and I tried to go to every single one. And that's
I'm only 17. I'm only a few months up turning 18. So I can't go to the pubs just yet. But
that's right. Well, legally.
Yeah, that's what we'll say.
That's what we'll say. So who are amongst your mates? Who's the big name of the Giants? Who do you like really follow? Like this is my guy.
On the Giants team.
Yeah.
I would have said Saquon, but over the last year, it was like over the last 2 years, really, with all the injuries, he's not out there. But the one player that I feel is the most, even though in 2019 he wasn't statistically the best in terms of, overall production, but Leonard Williams, I'm sorry, he has been an absolute
Leonard Williams. Okay,
Yeah.
Killian's now going to leave the channel because he picked Leonard Williams. I'm going to have to
I
send you on your
was a
way.
hater of the move when it
Go back
happened.
and watch soccer.
I'd be a big soccer fan, but no, I didn't like the Leonard Williams move. I was a bit critical of it myself because everyone was like, why are we trading the third and a possible fourth rounder for, a guy who's coming up on a contract soon enough, and that hasn't really produced massively over the last couple of years. And then, last year he came in and he made the defense so much better. Like, he elevated the game of Dalvin Tomlinson and Dexter Lawrence. And even though, the rest of the defense was terrible, I think the impact that he made on that defensive line, and then your linebacking core behind that, even though our linebackers were absolutely god-awful, and, adding Blake Martinez this year really, really helped. But I think he just had a massive effect on the defense, and without him, we wouldn't have been competitive in any games, really.
Well, that's true. Now, of course, Dominic is my partner in NFL Talk from across the pond and back, so he's another big European football fan. So my question is, I know what it's like, where Dom is at. I mean, but in comparison, is NFL football getting to any type of level in reference to being on the same level as soccer, or is it always going to be soccer and then NFL football?
Yeah, see, over here, soccer would probably be, maybe the third or fourth biggest sport.
Really?
Over here, you'd have your Gaelic football, hurling, and rugby. They'd be your three biggest ones.
I like rugby, man. I used to love watching rugby. They used to have it on ESPN.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, not ESPN. They would have it on ESPN3, and then years ago they used to have ESPN International.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Now, I'm from your perspective, what are the Giants going to do this year? What's 17 games? What's the record?
I'm staying hopeful 9-8, because I feel like a winning record wins this division.
Right.
A winning record wins this division. Now, maybe I've seen over the last, week or so, I've begun to be a little bit more fearful of Dallas, just because, the fact that their offense can be absolutely electric, and because like CeeDee Lamb in his second year is going to be, I think he was maybe not as good as Justin Jefferson, no way, but he was at least the second best wide receiver that was drafted in 2019. Now you can debate that, maybe you think Jerry Jeudy was, but I'd go CeeDee Lamb, and just the amount of talent that they have on that offense. Now, I know Adoree Jackson, some people might not be big fans of the move. I personally think we did overpay for him. A guy who's turned to be injury prone. But I think he's a big part of, if we go 9-8, that we have that second corner to be able to try to lock down. We have Amari Cooper being, man-to-man against James Bradbury, and then you have Adoree Jackson maybe taking away the wide receiver too, like CeeDee Lamb. And then,
do you have any fear about him coming off the ACL? I mean, I have fear and trepidation. Like I said, I was very surprised the amount of money that I understood it, but I was very surprised the amount of money they had to go and give him, because it seemed like in some ways the Giants were technically competing against themselves to give him that much amount of money. And I love it because they had like Logan Ryan and Peppers and everyone come in and try to sway him. But I'm like, if you're going to give me that kind of money, I don't need to have dinner with anybody. I'll just take the check because I just got waived. But is there any fear and trepidation, the fact that, the ACL is a tricky injury to come back from, that especially at a corner position?
Yeah, it is. There's no doubt that the ACL is tough to come back from, especially when you're playing a skill position like corner that really demands a lot from you. Like, physically, it takes a lot out of you, and you have to all be there mentally as well. Like we saw with DeAndre Baker, he had the physical tools to be a decent corner, but then his head was just is there was nothing in there. There's nothing in that fella's head, and he got cooked every play.
Yeah.
But you see, with I just think that Adoree Jackson, his upside would have been a decent first corner in the NFL. And then I think the fact that you have Bradbury there on that side and you put Adoree Jackson onto the, cornerback 2 spot, he's on the second wide receiver. So at least he's not getting the most talented wide receiver on him. And it is rough. I know before the ACL, he did have a very good coverage grade by PFF, though. By PFF.
You're waiting. Now I am going to turn you off because you brought up Pro Football Focus.
I'm not a big fan of them. I think they're, you can get some good information from them, but they're not
what's funny? I was the 60 ranked, cornerback in the NFL last year, according to Pro Football Focus. Good question here, though. What do you think of Daniel Jones?
Oh, I have a jersey. I got it before this season. My grandma, who lives in Toms River, New Jersey, bought me a. That's what?
They said it's not too far. I grew up in Central Jersey.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I know Toms River. Toms River, I'm in Pennsylvania, but Toms River is not more than an hour.
Well, with DJ, I am a big fan of DJ. I do think that I'm not saying I think he's the guy, but I think he can be. And I think this is really the year for him to prove to us that he is. And we need him to prove that he is, because, we've spent a lot of money to try get the best out of him. And yeah, I hope that he'll ball out. I think that he will improve big this year. But I mean, we were saying that going into last year as well. We were saying that going into last year, and then Saquon plays. I mean, it wasn't him, that was terrible against Pittsburgh. It was the offensive line that was just a joke.
Right.
That run defense, every time they handed the ball off to Saquon, it was 2-3 guys in the backfield already to take him down. And the fact that I think he did finish with positive yards in that game on the ground. Yeah. That alone was a miracle, because the offensive line was terrible. But as long as as their pass protection isn't as bad as their run blocking, I think DJ has a chance. I do want to go offensive line in the draft first round. I wouldn't even be against going first 2 rounds, or maybe 1 and 3, first round and third round.
If you did that, would you think that what we did last year was a waste from the players the offensive line talent that we drafted?
And I think,
because to me, going to the first 2 rounds of me would be an indictment of the fact that we whiffed on Lemieux and Matt and everyone else.
Yeah, well, I didn't look with Lemieux. I think just because he was a 5th round pick, I wouldn't really consider, I wouldn't think of it as, we're throwing him, we're just forgetting about him, because I think the fact that he even played half the snaps that he did last year was, surprising for a 5th round offensive guard to be playing as many snaps as he did.
Well, he had to fill in because when Will Hernandez had COVID.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was. I don't think they
planned that. Yeah,
I don't think they planned for that. Just this is a good question by Davey, though, and I mentioned it as well. I have it up on the screen. Daniel Jones, is he much better than Dak, or is Dak far and above Daniel Jones?
I would put Dak above DJ. I think what I was saying to my friends about Daniel Jones, I think Daniel Jones has the potential to be. I do rate Dak Prescott. I do think Dak is a top 10 quarterback. He should not be paid as much as he is.
I think he's that. Yeah, the money's crazy.
I was so happy when Dallas signed him, because I saw them, commit the amount of money that they did, and I was like, great. That's middle of the pack all year long for the next 4 years. I don't see Dallas finishing, top of our division, or starting to, being the top dog in our division. But back to Daniel Jones, I think he's as talented as Dak, or can be as talented as Dak, if he's given the pieces around him like Dak was.
Right.
Dak was given a wide receiving corps maybe better than ours, slightly. I do think ours has improved a lot with adding Kenny Golladay, and I think maybe through the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, we should, draft a wide receiver to kind of add some more depth there to help out Daniel Jones. But and then the offensive line, we didn't really give Daniel Jones the offensive line that Dak Prescott was given as soon as he came into starting for Dallas.
Right.
So I think if we put Daniel Jones in the exact same position as Dak Prescott was in a few years ago, I think that we would have a very similar type of quarterback to Dak Prescott. That's, if I were to compare the two of them, I do see similarities between him and Dak Prescott. And then I remember he was coming out of the draft and people were comparing him to Alex Smith. And then we saw him when he actually played, against Tampa Bay, he looked incredible. And then at times he looked like a bit of Jameis Winston. So, and that's the opposite of Alex Smith.
Yeah, that's not those aren't two that you can literally compare. I mean, Jameis Winston set a record his last season of never throwing the ball out of bounds. I mean, that is crazy to me. Well, Killian, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need to wrap this up because I gotta go to the store. My wife is picking me, but I appreciate you coming on. I always do appreciate your comments. You keep me on my toes sometimes. So like I said, I hope you keep that up. I'm going to invite you right now. I'm going to try to do a European Giants roundtable, probably after the draft. And I would like to invite you immediately on. I'm also going to invite a couple other people from Italy. And I think I already think he knows who it is. We're going to have Dom and a couple other people, Dom from the UK. And if you're willing to do it, like I said, if you want to just email me, it's tim@onlineBigBlue.com. And I think you did email me already. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about that. I'll try to get over that. But yeah, we're going to do a European roundtable for the Giants after the draft and kind of get everyone's perspective. And I'd love to have you on.
I'd love to do that. Sounds great.
All right, well, thank you. And again, I appreciate you coming on, and thank you once again, and thank you for supporting the Giants over in Ireland.
Always.
All right, guys, we're gonna be wrapping this up soon. I'm gonna just answer a couple questions because it is 1:02. I like to end this at 1:00, but we did have some quick questions. Yes, Killian did a fantastic job. He did a great job. He enjoyed having him on. He had messaged me a couple times before, and I didn't get a chance, an opportunity to have him on. But let's see here. I just had a couple I wanted to answer real quick. And again, if you do want to email me, if you have questions and I miss your questions, please email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com and I'll be able to, I usually respond within a day or two. I'm honestly worried the Giants are going to flop this year. What do you think could it be the biggest letdown if things go badly? If things go badly, of course, yes, it will be a terrible letdown for the Giants, but we got to have faith. We got to move forward. I referenced the Mets teams. I guess it was in the early 90s. It was the worst team money can buy. They did a whole book on it. They bought all these free agents and nothing happened. I don't see it going that bad, but if it goes bad, it's going to go bad. I think it'll go bad, and it'll go bad quick and go back rapidly. So I think the first 6 games of the season is really going to be what we need to take a look at. Davey, to me, Daniel Jones is Steve Young. I don't think I don't see him as being Steve Young. Steve Young had the ability to move in the pocket. Steve Young had the ability to scramble. Daniel Jones is what they refer to in my mind as a planned scrambler. You have to give him the opportunity in the lane to make that decision to run. Steve Young was just a quarterback that just improvised. I like your show too. I'm going to see you later. Well, we're going to actually wrap this up, guys, because Davey's leaving. Show's over. Everyone get the hell out. More like Dave will say. What you say? More like Dave Brown. Come on. That's not nice. That's not nice. Might be true, but it's not nice. We're all about honesty here. 2 questions. I have faith that something will go right this year, barring as you know what, Carlos? I think if we stay healthy, and I think the players that we brought in, if they come back from their injuries, I have a feeling that we will do something. I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs, but I think we will make this interesting. But to your point, it always is injuries. Jones more like Steve Urkel. I didn't know Urkel played. It'd be funny if he did. Killian, my friend, thank you for coming on. Don't thank me. You made it a better show. Who the hell wants to listen to me for an hour? All right, guys, we are going to sign it off from here because I'm getting the cue sign from the wife. So you know what we're going to do?
Do I make you horny?
Sorry. That evidently is not the button to sign out. So let's, you know what? I lost my music. I don't know where it went. But again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And everyone, thank you for watching. We're going to do a draft show coming up. Go to onlinebigblues.com. Listen to the new podcast. We'll have a new episode of From Across the Pond and Back on later this evening. So I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Go watch the Met game. Go see Chris. Go see Bad Dog. And like I said, guys, wait, one last question. All right, one last question. Favorite Giants Super Bowl, 1986, because it was my first Super Bowl. That was my first Super Bowl, and I got to experience that with my father. And my father passed away slightly after the 2007 Super Bowl, so that wasn't a great memory, and I just love 2011. But 2086 was my Super Bowl. So, all right, guys, have yourself a good night, a good day. I'll have a new video hopefully up tomorrow. If you have a topic or you want a player you want me to profile, please let me know and send them over. I'll do a draft profile for you. But you know what, guys? Have a great weekend, or what's the rest of it.